All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Ramsey Schaefer, and I am a co-founder of Babbl. I'm also a native Minnesotan, a current grad student at the University of Minnesota here in Minneapolis, and an avid retail investor of stocks and cryptocurrencies. So to get started today, if you're an avid investor like myself, you're typically watching financials of the stocks you're interested in to make investment decisions. This probably involves some fundamental and technical analysis if you're diligent. But ultimately, in today's day and age, most retail investors are getting their information online in the form of newsletters, news articles, posts on social media such as Twitter and Reddit, and potentially the occasional podcast. However, now more than ever, this news has the potential to influence markets more than ever before. We've seen this over the past month with stocks going viral on Reddit. And the concern here is that many retail investors are not doing the amount of research that they should be in order to make viable trades. So the question is, how can a retail investor read the news more diligently with the help of some tools that aren't currently available? Because the truth is that it costs quite a bit of time and or money for investors to comb through the noise online to make decisions and find reliable and valuable sources of information. So at Babbl, we're taking a new approach by bringing sentiment analysis to the retail investor. And we're currently building tools using sentiment analysis to help automate reading finance and conquer due diligence. And we're doing this in a way that both quantifies the mood of any finance content online and also enables investors to do research as a community of peers. And that's what I'm going to talk about and showcase here today. So to get started, what you're seeing on your screen is the Babbl landing page we have set up. From here, you can access our MVP web app browser extension, which we currently went live with in the Google Chrome store just this past week. So to get started, if you hadn't used it before, you can just go to the Google Chrome store, type in Babbl, and it'll pop up with the Babbl option for investors. You can also access this from our landing page. So because I already have this set up, it says remove from Chrome, but you would add it to Chrome with a few clicks, sign up for an account, and once you've done that, a little B icon for Babbl shows up in the top right of your browser, which you can then use to start tracking the news you've read, to analyze articles in terms of their sentiment, and start seeing what other Babbl users are reading over the course of time. So to test this out, let's go to any finance news platform. One of my personal favorites is The Motley Fool, and we can click on an article to analyze its sentiment and save it to our dashboard. I should mention that, again, this is a proof of concept. We just recently put it out as an MVP, and we're currently working to refine this and continue to grow it with the help of hopefully some additional team members in the near future. So let's click on just any random article within the browse page. We can then click anywhere within the contents of the article, and then the browser options menu will pop up, and you can see a little option to analyze the page with Babbl. So we click this. This will send this to your personal dashboard so you can see it at a later date. This will also show up as a notification under the Babbl icon. And from here, this will show all of the sentiment of the article as well as any of the tickers that are mentioned within the article contents. So importantly, we can track all of the language within this and analyze the sentiment across 4 separate metrics. Speculative and reactive, which measure the time sense of the language within the article, speculative being into the future and reactive into the past. And then optimism and pessimism measure the mood, essentially positive and negative language within the article. This is a novel approach to doing sentiment analysis. In the past, most metrics just include basically a bag of words algorithm that measure the positive or negative language. This is tailor-made to finance language and as a result is a little bit more accurate in engaging the mood of the language within the article. So once we've gotten this up, you can see that this article is speculative and optimistic into the future, maybe essentially saying that this is a bullish article about the stocks that are being mentioned in here. So From here, we can go to our dashboard. You can also access this from that little pop-up window and see all of the articles we've saved as a user over time. And this gives us a sense of what we've read, also tells us the mood of the articles we've read. And the next step we'd like to add is also to include summary statistics on here that show how the language and mood of the articles that you've read is trending. In particular, we're working on adding a watch list feature over here on the right that would allow you to see all of the articles scraped across the internet using the Babbl browser extension and how those relate to the mood of the tickers that you're interested in. So for now, while we are working on adding this feature to the dashboard, we're currently piloting this on Twitter. So I'll show that to you. This is last week's sentiment roundup that we published of the overall conversation on using the Babbl browser extension across a variety of tickers. And from here, you can see the top 10 most mentioned tickers across the internet. You can also see the most reactive, speculative, optimistic, and pessimistic tickers. And we also do a little write-up on here to kind of discuss why this might be the case. So you can see last week, Tesla was mentioned quite a bit, coming in at number 1. You can also see IBM was very speculative last week, and Wells Fargo was very optimistic last week. So again, this is helping investors to make better decisions. Long term, we'd like to refine this so that it can start to automate the reading of news. But for now, this is, again, just an MVP. So if you'd like to learn more or get involved within our community, we currently have a Discord set up of about 50 retail investors. And in there, we talk a little bit more about the features that we're planning to add and how to progress this into something that is viable. In the meantime, if you can also follow us on Twitter or get started analyzing the news on your own at babbl.dev. So thank you for listening, and I appreciate it.